All right, Shalom. Before we start, I'm going to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. All right, the tabernacle of David. All right. And we come back with a video. You know, this title of the video is going to be called Who Are the Strangers? Or who are the Gentiles or strangers in the Bible? Okay. So I'm doing this lesson because, a lot of people get mixed up when they see that term, strangers or nation. I mean, Gentile. All right, now in some context, you gotta notice in some context, it is talking about, when you see the word Gentile or stranger, it is talking about the other nations. But mainly, the Gentiles or strangers are talking about Israelite foreigners or Israelites that don't know, or the scattered Israelites that don't know they're Israelites. That's why they're called Gentiles. All right. I just got a few precepts to hit, to get some understanding, a little willingness, edifying. All right, so the first one we're gonna go to is Isaiah 14. This is Isaiah 14 and 1, and it says, "For the Lord, whose name is Yahweh." All right, you gotta establish that. All right, there's no other name. It's not Yehovah or Yahuwah, not Yahweh, none of that. All right, the Lord's name is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right, you got people in these days, saying that's something different. Well, we don't have the name, and that's not true. All right, these are false prophets. All right, so for the Lord, Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. All right, and that's how we know that you know, those people over there, over in the land, they're not the real people. All right. It says, Salak, let's read it again. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. All right. Because we're the real Israelites are scattered across the four corners of the world. All right, it says, "And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." All right, now when you see that word "strangers," this in this context, all right, this is talking about. Let's just look it up. I ain't gonna give it away. All right, Gar, H 16:16. All right, sojourner, a temporary inhabitant.
You've been hit by.
It says a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights of it says foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights, right, or conceded rights. So the strangers is like foreigners. All right, and if you drop down here, I got this from the I seen this from the elder Karak Zakba, GMS Baltimore. All right, it says a sojourner, stranger, foreigner, a person living out of his own country. All right, we would be strangers. All right, let's say there was Israelites in the land. All right, and we go back, we would be strangers because we're living outside of our own country, right? Let's go to Exodus 22, Exodus 2 and 22. Exodus 2 and 21. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land, right? Because Moses was in the land of Egypt, all right, when the Israelites was in the captivity, all right? So let's go back to Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers, Israelite foreigners, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. All right, so it's not talking about the other nations. This is talking about Israelite foreigners that will come back, right? Let's continue. It says, and the people shall take them, and now this is verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, who were our oppressors? All right, starting with, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, they were our oppressors. They still are our oppressors. You had the Babylonian captivity, the Egyptian captivity, Medo-Persian, the Greek. All right, these different captivities. We were in the Assyrian, right? So these were our oppressors at one point. Esau Edom still is our oppressor, all right, to this day. All right, but when everything's right, when the Lord Yahweh, when He sent His Son Yahweh Shah to return and gather His elect, and we go back to our land, these people will be under our rule. All right, we'll have our foot on their necks. We're gonna rule with a rod of iron, right? Let's go to Isaiah 11, verse 10. All right, it says, "In that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious." All right. Now, who the Gentiles in this? Now, when you look up the word Gentiles, right? It's the word goy. Goy. Let's hear it.
Strong's H 1471. Goy. Goy.
Right, goy. And it says usually of non-Hebrew people, right? Usually of non-Hebrew people, of descendants of Abraham of Israel. All right. So it's usually sometimes it's usually a non-Hebrew people, but it could be talking about descendants of Abraham, the Israelites. All right. So let's read this again. It says, "In that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek," the other, Israelites. All right. And his rest shall be glorious. Read verse 11. "And it shall come to pass in that day, all right, that the Lord shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. He shall set up a sign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." All right, so these people who are in these different places are the Gentiles. All right, or Israelite foreigners, you could say, right, scattered throughout the earth. All right. Now let's get Isaiah 60. Let's read that. This is Isaiah 60 and 1. I'm going to start at the top. It says, "A glorified Zion." It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and His glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see all they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see, and flow together, and thine heart shall fear, and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee." All right, he's talking about the other nations. All right, coming to serve. When we're establishing our rulership, right? It says, "The multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries of Median and Ephah. All they from Sheba shall come, and Salakia, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee, the rams of Nebaoth. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. It says, "Shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory." Verse 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the owls shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, into the Holy One of Israel, because he had glorified thee. Who he glorified? The Israelites. All right. And these other nations are going to flow unto us, right? To worship, to be under our rule. Let's get real quick. There's Isaiah 2:1. It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house, the mountain is the government, well, mountain represents government, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in top of the mountains. Let me read that again. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Right? And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. All right, so they're coming to serve us. All right, they're coming to learn our ways, our laws. We're going to have to teach them. All right, because remember, the laws will be in our inward parts. We're not going to be able to. We're not going to teach our brother, teach our people anymore, because they're just gonna know. All right, we're just gonna know what the law is. We're going to teach the other nations. They're still going to be in subjection to sin. Right, we're going to be perfect. All right, so that's why we're going to be glorified. So let's go back to Isaiah 60. Right. So the Gentiles in this context is the other nations. All right. So you can't get tripped up on your words. All right. You got to go into context. All right. You can look up some words. All right. To give you a better understanding. But, this is you gotta read. Really, you just gotta read. Verse 10, and the sons of the Salakia, and the sons of strangers. They go that word strangers again. Shall build up thy walls. Let's look at that word strangers. See what it says this time. Nakar. Let's play it.
Strong's H5236. Nechar. Nechar.
Right. Now this is talking about actual other nations. It says foreign, alien, foreignness, that which is foreign. All right. You get the heathen down a strong definition. Concretely, a foreigner, or abstractly, heathendom, alien, strange, or stranger. So this is talking about the actual heathen, the other nations. All right, verse 10 again, and the sons of strangers, all right, the other nations shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Let's see what it says in a different translation. CSB, foreigners will rebuild your walls, and their kings will serve you. Although I struck you in my wrath, yet I will show mercy to you with my favor. NLT, foreigners will come to rebuild your towns. Salakia. NLT again, foreigners will come to rebuild your towns, and their kings will serve you. For though I have destroyed you in my anger, I will now have mercy on you through my grace. All right. Let's get one more. They all say the same. ESV, foreigners shall build up your walls, and their king shall minister to you. For in my wrath I struck you, but in my favor I have had mercy on you. Right. So these foreigners, the other nations, are going to come and rebuild our homes. All right, because Israel, our land, our homeland, is going to have to be destroyed to get the heathen out. Right. Israel is going to be destroyed to get the heathen out of there. All right, and the Lord is going to and Babylon's going to be destroyed as well. But Babylon's not going to be rebuilt. Israel's going to be rebuilt by putting these other nations in slavery. All right, that's what we read in Isaiah 14 and 1 and 2. All right, it says, verse 11, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. All right. So the nations that don't serve, they're gonna be the Lord's gonna punish them. All right. It's a verse in Zechariah, I believe 14. You know, the nation that doesn't come up to the house of the Lord, they're not gonna have any rain. You know, there's gonna be a famine. All right. So we got that. Let's read these. Let's do Revelation 7. Because this is where people go off at. All right, so Revelation 7 and 9. When they read this, they think it's talking about the other nations can be saved. All right, Esau, Edom, and can make it. No. All right. Revelation 7 and 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, with which no man can number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. All right, because this word nations is the same thing as Gentile, ethnos. If I can find it. Yeah, ethnos, right? A multitude, whether of men or of beasts, associated or living together. A multitude of individuals of the same nature or genus or gene. All right. The human family, a tribe, nation, people group. All right. In the Old Testament, foreign nations not worshiping the true power, pagans, Gentiles. Right. So people will read this and say, oh, the other nations can be saved because they heard of all nations, peoples, and kindreds, right? But let's get that word kindreds, right? Foulé, let's play it.
Strong's G 5443. Foulé. Foulé.
Right, it says a tribe. In the New Testament, all the persons descended from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. All right, that's who it's talking about. All right, not these other heathen. They can't be saved. They can't even they're not going to be in the new covenant. You know, they're going to be in you know, now when that's I'm gonna say that when the 1,000 years are up, you know, all the other nations except Esau, they will, you know, go back to their lands and enjoy, right? Enjoy their niggas, man. Slakia. Let's read this again. And after this, I beheld, and lo, great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds. All right, look at that word kindreds, which is the one of the sons. All right, let's read it again. Foulé. Because people will get tripped out on that. Foulé in the New Testament are the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob, a nation, people. All right, an offshoot, i.e., race, a clan, kindred, tribe. All right, and who's that clan? The clan of, you know, that race, you know, that tribe of Israel, or the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, that's who, you know. This is that great multitude, you know, the remnant, the 1/3, 144,000. All right, Lord willing, we of this number, man. All right, either the remnant or the 144. You know, we pray and hope we of that number. All right, so you can't get tripped up on these things. Let's get this last one, John 7. All right, this is John 7 and 35. It says 34. Ye shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Let's look at that word dispersed. Diaspora, a scattering, dispersion of Israelites, dispersed among foreign nations. All right, and they threw that Christian in here, but no, that ain't who we talking about. All right, it's talking about Israelites being dispersed among the nations. All right, let's get James. Testing your faith. James, a servant of the Most High and the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting. Let's look at that word scattered. All right, diaspora. Let's play it.
Strong's G 1290. Diaspora. Diaspora.
All right, diaspora, like he said. I can't say it like he said it. Diaspora or diaspora. All right, that's who was talking about. Let's go back. What I had, John. Right. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Right. Will he go to the dispersed among the other nations and teach teach the Gentiles, the other Israelites? Right. It's gonna come. See what it says in another translation. NLT. The Jewish leaders were puzzled by the statement. Where is he planning to go? They asked, is he thinking of leaving the country and going to the Jews in other lands? Maybe he will even teach the Greeks. All right. ESV, the Jews said one to another, where does this man intend to go, that we will not find him? Does he intend to go to the dispersion among the Greeks and teach the Greeks? Right. The dispersion among the Greeks. Because when we first Maccabees were in the Greek captivity. You know, and we took on the Greek customs. All right, there were Israelites living in Greece, right? So that's who was talking about. Let's get one more. I got one more. I had X. I want to show this. X 6:1. In those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. All right, let's get that word for Grecian. Right?
Strong's G 1675. Hellenistes. Hellenistes.
All right, Hellenistes, right? A Hellenist, one who imitates the manners and customs of the worship or the worship of the Greeks and use the Greek tongue, used in the New Testament of Jews born in foreign lands and speaking Greek. All right, so these were Jews, born in other lands speaking the Greek tongue. All right, read first and second Maccabees. All right, that's give you the Greek captivity. All right. Down with Strong's definition of Hellenist, a Greek-speaking Jew, a Grecian. All right. So that when you read certain, you can't get caught up on words like the elders say. All right. You gotta look up words. All right. You gotta read. You gotta read the whole. You just can't read one part of the verse in the chapter. Right. You gotta read the whole thing sometimes to get the full understanding. Going to definitions. All right, going to the etymology of words. All right, so, that was all I had on that. Lord willing is edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah Gwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. All right, Lord willing is edifying. To the next video, shalom.